Shooting a bow is cool. Shooting a bow you made
It's awesome.
is awesome.
My name's Emily. I've been shooting archery for 8 years. Been shooting modern longbow before starting to work on bows with you.
I'm Daniel. I've been a bow maker for 14 years. We've known each other for longer than the apprenticeship. We do historical sword fighting in a group called the Society for Creative Anachronism.
You took on an apprentice, and I was jealous. I was like, I didn't know he was taking on apprentices. When the opportunity came up to do apprenticeship again, I was like, pick me. I want to do that.
Yeah. You've been doing archery for a long time, but why did you were like, I gotta make a bow?
Well, I guess it's just the progression. I started on a breakdown 3-piece recurve, which broke while I was shooting it.
Wow,
So then,
that must have been scary.
Yeah, the string came up and actually broke a blood vessel in my elbow. Anyway, and then I bought a really nice 1-piece modern longbow, and I love that bow. I haven't shot it since I made my own bow. But basically it was just kind of like, we're history nerds. We're in the Society of Creative Anachronism, and there's other people who have modern longbows, and that was just like the next progression, and I wanted to do it. And then the opportunity to make it myself, I was like, that's what I want to do. The idea of making more, not heavier poundage bows, but more efficient bows sounds really interesting.
Yeah, if I can make a bow that's 30 pounds that shoots farther and faster than a 60-pound bow,
Yeah.
then,
Well, and I have a friend who can't shoot more than a 30-pound bow because her shoulder wants to dislocate.
Right.
But she enjoys shooting archery, and making a lighter pound, more efficient bow for her would be more advantageous.
So the Mollegabet, that's a style that came out of Denmark, out of the city in Mollegabet, and they found remnants like it, and so that's why we decided to make it.
It doesn't have a working handle, so it's stiff in the handle. This part is wider this way, but I don't know if the camera can even see it. It's thinner here, and then on this end, and it bends between these 2 points. And then this part is more of a lever, and it does not bend. And it's skinny here, but it's thicker this way. And it's supposed to meant to act like a lever, right? So these bend, and then this basically levers and flicks the arrow.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be like lower poundage bow, but more efficient because of the lever system. And when I saw you present one of these bows, I think it was last year, I was like, I want to make that kind of bow.
First day we got together, we roughed out the bow. That's a good place to start. So we roughed out the bow together. We started chasing a ring. We got it kind of set out, and then we rough shaped the bow so we could then send you home to chase the ring. So that was all in one day.
Yeah, but I failed chasing the ring at one point. So I think that actually took two visits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after we got the ring chased, which took a good amount of time, and you did a really good job on until I helped you. After that, then we did the final shaping and tillering of the bow. And essentially that was our couple of days that we spent together.
Yeah.
You learned how to make strings the last time we were together, and not too difficult to make a string.
No, not my favorite process, but
no.
Not difficult.
And then putting the finish on, how did the true oil go? Because we sent you home to do that.
The true oil went really good. I did one coat, and then it says if it's rough to like sand it, but it was smooth already. I think it's because we sanded the wood so much, and like chasing the ring with the scrapers and everything makes this soft already. So I didn't sand it a second at all. I just did a second coat, and it feels really nice.
Good.
And I used that on the rawhide patch too, and it turned out pretty good.
Yeah. It's almost transparent on some parts.
Yeah.
It's kind of thin there, but
we had to really like squeeze it on here. It stretched quite a bit. My favorite part is when we got rid of this big nasty knot up here.
Oh yeah.
So I had this like 2-inch tall nasty knot, and I brought it to you, and I was like, help. And then by the time you couldn't even tell there was a knot there anymore. That was probably my favorite part. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gone. You can't even tell it's there. So
What was your experience shooting it?
It pulls really smooth. It's got a really smooth draw. Doesn't feel like it stacks at all. And the release, there's no hand shock. It's really just a nice, smooth, easy to shoot bow. So.
Mm-hmm. But what are kind of your thoughts on the art itself, and maybe what you're going to do to kind of help preserve it and keep it moving forward?
Well, my goal is to try making different types of bows. I mean, I think it would be a while before I trusted myself to make a bow for somebody else. I already have some people have already asked me. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm an apprentice. But like, when I picked this style of bow to teach me, I'm like, well, I've never shot that kind of bow. I want to make one. I just want to try a bunch of different types of bows, different woods, different styles. Like, my husband likes to shoot with thumb draw. I want to try and make one of the bamboo horse bows. I just want to know as much about archery as I possibly can, because it's my hobby, and it's like, it's very relaxing to go shoot archery, and I find making bows can be relaxing when you know what you're doing. And yeah, I guess when I get into something, I get really into it. Like, I want to know everything I possibly can.
Hey, I think the whole reason why this is so awesome to be able to say, I know this skill and I'm able to pass it on to somebody, is that this is a skill that has been dwindling, so to say. There's not a lot of people who make bows. Now I'm teaching more people to make this and make their own art in this way, and it's just, I think, helping to bring the realness of bow making back. There's just something different about shooting a self-made bow. There's a more intimate feeling of shooting when you do that. It's been a great apprenticeship. I think things have worked out real well. We've made 2 bows together now.
Yes.
Haven't broken any bows yet. Just got a boo-boo.
Okay.
That's okay. It happens. And it works. That's the best part.
It works really well.
Is that even though you've learned a lot from this bow, there's a few mistakes that we've corrected and things that we fixed, that it's still a shootable bow. And that at the end of the day is a lot of lessons learned. Is the whole point of making bows, is learning from them. The more bows you make, the more you'll learn from them.